welcome to another episode of Murder Dictionary Podcast. My name is Brianna, and that's Kelly.
Hey. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
That was the most awkward hello I've ever seen you do.
I'm so sorry. It's a squeaky chair. I can't. It's
you feel like you can't move?
Okay, let me try again. Hey!
Much better. Much better. Don't mind the squeaky chair. Maybe nobody can hear it except for us.
Okay.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So before we get started on our case for tonight, we wanted to let you know that if you haven't followed our social media, now would be a great time to go over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and follow us there. We've got a bunch of new episode information, information about merch coming up and bonus episodes, as well as some memes and crazy serial killer information. This week has been a real dick-focused week.
I saw that.
Yeah, we had some serial killer penis sizes, if you want to be all PC about it or whatever.
Who was the biggest?
Ted Bundy.
Of course.
Yeah.
Why did I even...
I was just like, ugh, I hate him.
Duh.
Just wanted it to be anybody but Ted, really.
Ed Kemper has to be the smallest, huh?
Right? Yeah, it's always the opposite of what
dick.
you would think. Just baby dick on a giant man.
Yeah.
That's always the way it
Kemper
works.
and Gacy have to have the smallest.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like barely visible.
Mm-hmm.
Just like a little kind of head that you could kind of like draw a little happy face on.
Yeah.
Make real cute. Yeah.
That would be good.
Deaf. So if you want that info, go over to our social media and follow us on there.
Yeah, I like that a lot of people in the group post really cool stuff too, like a lot of good recommendations. And
I am watching all sorts of stuff just based on what our listeners tell us to watch.
What are you watching?
I mean, I just finished Mindhunters, which was awesome.
I'm barely in. I don't have that much time, but I'm barely in.
Yeah, I've already watched it twice because it was amazing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you got to get on Mindhunters.
Yeah, I got to almost the second episode.
Man, the second episode for me is where it just like hooks in, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to watch everything.
I'm excited.
In one sitting.
Gotta do it.
So if you want information on recommendations too, we have a ton of listeners that are part of the Murder Dictionary community that'll post stuff and recommend things to watch.
Yeah.
Other things to listen to, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Yep.
So what else? In our description and show notes, we will have timestamps for parts of the story that maybe are a little bit gruesome and you may want to skip. We try and do that every episode. And in the description, we also have some links to resources for victims. So if you wanted to look into any domestic violence support or CPS or 12-step programs, all sorts of stuff like that, we have resources for that because we talk about some heavy stuff and some of those resources might be good for some of the people in our stories. Mm-hmm. So what else? There's also merch available at threadless.murderdictionary.com, I think. The link's in the show notes. I may be fucking that
I like
up.
how you looked totally like, it's the first time you've ever looked unsure about something. That's my role, okay? I look at you like, what's the name of
It's been a long day.
Murder dick?
Murder that dick.
Murder that dick. Oh my God. Okay.
So, today I'm just a little confused. So definitely there's links in the show notes. Yeah. There's links on the social media, but I'm pretty sure it's like threadless.murderdictionary.com or there's a slash somewhere.
Yeah.
One of those things. You'll figure it out. I believe in you guys. We have smart listeners.
Yeah.
You're going to find it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing that's going to be in the show notes is a link to our Patreon. So that's Patreon/Murder Dictionary. And on our Patreon, you will find bonus episodes. Also, we send out some merch to our Patreon supporters. And we also shout out anybody that's a new patron. So this week, we have new Patreon support from Jeffrey, Heather, Sarah, and Leah.
Jeffrey, Heather, Sarah, Leah.
Yup.
Thanks, guys.
You're so good at remembering those.
I just gotta say it like in
Which is like
Jeffrey?
Not what I would think would happen. I would think that you would forget. It's just like #weed, and I'm impressed every time. It never ceases to amaze me.
#bars, just turn it into some musical rhythm. Jeffrey, Sarah, Heather, Leah. Jeffrey, Sarah.
You spit hot fire.
I'm just gonna mold it into one name. Jeffrey, Sarah, Heather, Leah.
I've noticed there's a lot of Leahs that like true crime podcasts. Really? I feel like I see a lot of Leahs in our group and in other true crime groups.
Is
it's
it
like
Leah?
if you're named Leah
Or Leia.
It looks like it's Leah.
Okay.
I think Leia is Lei
Oh, okay.
usually,
it's
right?
E-A-H. Then,
Yeah.
Okay. Leah. Yeah, you're right.
Mhm.
You're right.
So, yeah, it's just a little pattern. Leah's and true crime go hand in hand, it seems like.
Maybe she's like an islander and it's like Leah.
It could be.
You
I'm
know?
sorry, Leia, for mispronouncing your name.
And maybe it's Hefre. You don't know.
I don't. I'm sorry, Hefre, for fucking up your name.
I can't.
And Heather.
Either, yeah. What would he Sarah?
And Syra.
Sarah.
So I apologize to everybody for saying it wrong.
Sarah. I love it. Okay.
So thanks so much again to Jeffrey, Heather, Sarah, and Leah.
I saw you get into the. Sorry.
I know. I got.
You were
a little,
like Jeffrey, Heather, Sarah, Leah.
I was about to make it clap to that. So thanks, guys, again for your Patreon support, and we'll be sending you out merch soon. And make sure you check out those bonus episodes on Patreon.
Yep.
And I think that's pretty much it for stuff we needed to cover, and we can kind of get into the story. I feel like I'm looking to Hugh to. Kelly is actively undressing right now.
It's time.
It is time to get to it. Take them panties off.
Woo! You know, if you don't want to donate to our Patreon, you can just send your panties.
Send nudes.
So what letter are we on?
We're on T for twins still. I
Twins.
think.
K. I got to rewrite all this.
All right, I'm going to stop recording. We'll record again next week.
I thought it was T for tripping.
These murders be tripping. So yeah, we are still on letter T this week for twins.
Cool.
So Kelly's got another twin case for us. I'm super stoked.
The case is about Jasmiyah and Tasmiyah Whitehead.
Yeah. I remember this one vaguely, so I'm super excited to hear more details.
It's pretty cool, you know.
As far as murders go, it's pretty cool.
I mean, it was not like the last story we did where it was as gruesome or well, it's not even as gruesome, but it's not as bad as the other ones, but it's still bad. I think these you'll see. We're going to start off with their mom, Nikki Whitehead.
Okay.
She is a 34-year-old hairdresser from Conyers, Georgia, which is I think a little bit outside Atlanta.
I feel like that's how you talk about every town in Georgia. It's like, it's just a little outside of Atlanta because nobody knows anything else unless you're from Georgia. I can't name any other place in Georgia.
Seriously. Well, I mean, California's only got San Francisco, LA, or San Diego. It's
right,
like
there's
only 3 places.
Yeah. So, I mean, everything's outside of Atlanta for me.
True. We're outside of Atlanta.
Sorry, I never know geography of anything.
Probably 1,200 miles outside of Atlanta, you know?
So close. So close.
So, this town, Conyers, was it was nothing really crazy with crime, had kind of a diverse population. Nikki was born in prison because her mom was convicted of robbery and drug charges in the 1970s.
Whoa.
So that's how kind of her life started. She became a mother at 17, and she had this really, really big belly, right? Everyone would kind of be like, "Oh my god, this can be
you're having a litter."
Seriously, it's a big ass baby because
it's like the pictures of Octomom.
I just looked that up because
don't do yourself a favor. Don't look that up.
But look up her boyfriend. The tan version. It's
really, unless you really are about to get food poisoning and you want to barf something up, you're scared that you ate something poisonous. Look at that picture.
I was after food poisoning. That's really funny that you bring that up. I swear to God.
That's what you chose to do with your time as you were sick, is look up disgusting pictures?
That was 2 days after I shit my pants. Honestly. That's really weird that made me recover.
We have a murder dictionary announcement. Kelly shit her pants.
At a CVS.
Yeah. And I envision...
I was sick.
I envision you getting food poisoning, heading to CVS, having a bottle of Pepto in your hand.
Correct.
And then shitting your pants in line.
Correct.
Is this still correct?
Correct.
And then everybody in line can't possibly think it's anybody else but you. You know what I mean? Everybody's got cold medicine and headache medicine. You're the only one with pants shitting medicine. You know?
I didn't even think that, but I made sure not to make eye contact
That would
with
be
anyone.
the first thing I would think is there's no way out of this. That would be my very first thought is there's all signs point to me.
I don't know why I didn't just steal the Pepto-Bismol. Just because
of course.
I want to go back to that place, but there's always like 15 people in line.
Yes.
And I was dying, and I was only 2 people away.
So close.
And so close, and it wasn't that bad. I mean,
there's no form of shitting your pants that's not that bad. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I've never shit my pants in my life until I hit 28.
Well, I mean, you made it a long time. It was a good run.
You're the first person I hit up right after. Like, I hit you up in the car, like, mid-shit. Like, I just shit my pants at a CVS.
It's not stopping.
Oh, man. Where am I?
I know, right? We're 1,200 miles outside of Atlanta.
Yeah, so Nikki's about to shit out this baby.
Okay, perfect.
Pepto won't fix it. When she went into delivery, she gave birth to a baby, and then everyone was waiting around. That's a stupid thing.
It's a great way to put that.
Well, sometimes
she
things go...
gave birth to a liger.
Some people don't get that far, and some shit happens. So she thought that the placenta was going to come out, and everyone's waiting for the placenta, and out pops another fucking baby.
Oof.
So you would think...
Worst nightmare.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. Then everybody's just looking in the hole, like down the cave, like, is there another one in there?
Hello.
Is this a clown car?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard enough to expect one baby. I think you were just really scared of babies because I'm sure there's tons of moms on here that are
It's not even
disgusted.
babies. I'm great with babies. I'm terrified of pregnancy. I'm
not
terrified.
good with either. Yeah, that's...
It's just the whole carrying a baby for 9 months. Any mothers out there, you're just like a miracle and you're amazing. I could never do it.
Of course. How do you not bump into things? Like, I fucking knock shit over all the time.
I knock things over with my boobs. There's constantly food on me. Like, if I had a baby belly, like, there would be nothing safe in my house.
I would just have a bag of chips and a Coke on top of my belly. Like,
I would definitely build a contraption where I can put things that are important.
Exactly. So I guess you would think, like, how did they not know? You know,
She must have gone to so many, like, prenatal checkups or whatever.
So the trippy part is that they only saw one heartbeat because one of the twins was hiding behind the other one.
Oh, come on. Wait, this was like the 80s?
The 80s? I know.
Because, I mean, I've been in the room with ultrasounds, like...
So you're a professional?
So pretty much I know everything. But yeah, I mean, they flip around. But if you go in every single month...
The baby around? What do you mean they flip the mom?
No, but they move. And I've heard that twins can kind of like go in different places where you can't see them or whatever. However, if you're going every month... It doesn't make sense that they can't ever see the second baby.
Yeah. And
it makes sense 1 out of 6... appointments or something.
And wouldn't that mean their heartbeats like in sync? Because wouldn't you hear do-do-do-do-do-do? Like, wouldn't you hear back-to-back double?
That's true.
It wouldn't just be like do-do-do-do. It would be...
Yeah, you
I'm
could
not a doctor,
hear it. But we're both doctors. Yeah. I disagree.
Point is, she was
I'm
expecting
Dr.
one
Feelgood,
baby.
So speak for yourself.
I'm Dr. Green Thumb, you're Dr. Feelgood. So, I mean, it's a pleasant surprise. Nikki was pretty happy about it.
Are you sure it was a pleasant surprise at 17? Wasn't she 17?
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think I would feel that's very pleasant.
You're a real negative fucking Nancy right now.
Sorry, I apologize.
Well, and it couldn't have been good either because, like, the father, he was from Jamaica and he just kind of took off then, too. But the good thing is that she had... her grandmother. Her grandmother was the one that kind of took care of her a lot, so she stayed with her because her mom was in prison and stuff. So
that's helpful.
Yeah. So
see, things are looking up.
Yeah,
positive Nancy over here.
Exactly. You always have to have a good support system, and shit's gonna be okay. Their family seems really cool too. These twins instantly were like the pride and joy of the families. Everybody loved the twins. They were the favorites. They were kind of like the ideal. Identical twins. They did everything together. They
wore matching dresses.
They were inseparable. They
stood in hallways and they're like, "Come play with us."
Pretty close, actually.
Yeah, twins are always like creepy.
So
same
creepy.
Dress. Yeah, I could imagine it. But they're cute when they're your family. But everybody else is creeped out.
And they were like finishing each other's sentences. They were a little duo. They never their lives were intertwined and they were pretty dependent on each other.
I'm fascinated by twins,
Me
especially
too.
when they get their own language and whatnot. That seems to be something that happens pretty frequently. That's so neat.
It does, yeah. I don't know. It's the one thing though. I'm glad I'm not twins because if one dies, which I've known someone who's had a twin that died, and it's just,
I could never imagine.
Couldn't.
Oof.
And everyone dies, so it's gonna happen.
Right? One of us. It's a 50-50.
Yeah.
So you just look at your twin once you're 80 and you're like, uh-oh.
So as kids, they were really, really good. They were really smart, really talented, and their mom, Nikki, just kind of wanted to give them a better life than what she had. You know, she didn't want them to be born in a prison.
Right. They need to have more opportunity, you know? Of course, coming from that background, she's like, I want to give them every opportunity to do well in life, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Which, it's always a 50-50 thing. You can give your kid everything and they turn out awesome and they're just there. Or we are going to see.
Or they end up on Murder Dictionary podcast.
Exactly. Once they got to they were, I think, like middle school, they were on the honor roll. Awesome. Nikki would get them like dance lessons. They got them into music. So she basically paid for everything. She was, a hairdresser. She kept them really well kept. Like their hair was always like clean and cut. And they were just always on fucking fleek the whole time. Always on fleek, just kicking ass in life. They were really doing well. They were set up to succeed, to go to an amazing college and everything like that. They were pretty much identical, except for Jazz had this like mole on her face, which I am so in love with. I love moles on faces. I just like moles. But that's how the family could tell them apart, which is kind of shitty.
Right? Like everything else is the same. That's the only way I can see is you've got this gigantic witch mole.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you didn't have the mole, you wouldn't be able to tell them apart. And but I guess one of the uncles was saying they did know that the difference in personality. Of course you would. But they mixed them up. Jazz was definitely...
It's like a 80s sitcom where they're just playing pranks on their parents or something. Yeah.
Just like a fake mole.
Just blackjack gum on your face or something.
Jazz was definitely the more dominating, the aggressive out of the two. Okay. She was the oldest by however a couple minutes. Taz was the more quiet and reserved, laid back one. Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like a fire and water duo where they are really good together. Are
you talking about those wet lubes or what? Fire and ice.
They are definitely the version of KY. Intense.
The two lubes mixed together to make magic and chaos.
So once they got to high school, shit started to go kind of wrong.
It always does.
Right? I can relate to this fucking story so much. I was a kick-ass kid. I mean, my mom wasn't a hairdresser and didn't keep me on fleek, but I definitely...
But everything was going good.
Everything was going good. You were set up for success, and then you just meet people in high school and your priorities change, right?
Yes.
So instead of being into dance and being into music and stuff, they were into dating older boys. Oh. Which is the worst shit Nikki could ever hear in her life. Yeah. Being a 17-year-old mom.
Yes, that's terrifying for a mom. Oh my God. What a nightmare.
Yeah, fuck. I'd keep him in a closet. It's like
a mom horror movie. Yeah. Like, your daughter's dating a 40-year-old man. Yeah. No.
Also, I want to say they were super hot twins in high school. Did you ever have twins in your high school? They were like fucking unicorns.
Yeah, I feel like I did in junior high, but not in high school. I can't remember.
I just remember the twins were like the most amazing things ever. So they were kind of loved by everyone too. They're popular and everything. So
yeah, because everybody knows one of you at least.
Yeah,
you know
exactly.
Yeah,
and being super hot. Everybody knows the hot kids in high school.
Yeah.
So when there's the same exact hotness times 2.
Yeah,
they definitely know.
Double trouble.
I'm just looking at my notes. I put older boys greater than school. That's the greater than sign. I'm so stupid.
Agreed.
So since Nikki wanted them to start doing better than she did, and she wanted them to be educated and successful, Nikki started laying down the law. She was kind of lax. I mean, she had no reason to kind of lay down the law before because they were good kids.
Right, of course.
It's only until you start getting caught doing bad things that the parent has to change their method.
approach.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you have to set the boundaries as the parent. That's your job, is to make sure they know how far they can go without getting in trouble, and that they're gonna get in trouble and have consequences if they fuck up.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah,
you can't
exactly.
be your kid's friend. That never works.
I'm just gonna scream at my kid, "Who the boss?" And then, like, I'm the boss.
I run things.
I run things. Rum-pa-pa-pa-pum. Again, with the whole laying down the law, some kids can take to it, and I guess I don't know what the method is about it, because I rebelled too. My parents laid down the law, and maybe if they had been a little bit more compassionate, but it seems like Nikki kind of genuinely did care, and I don't feel like she would just be. I mean, I don't really know her, but but it just seemed like she really did care, and it came from a place of love instead of where, like, my dad was very strict, and it's harder. I think women are just more nurturing, and I think if my mom was she would always be the one, I could at least cry on her or something if I was that upset.
Yeah, I think that it's hard to start setting boundaries for kids that have previously been really good, or that you've been lax with or something, because they don't take kindly to it. It's a new experience for them, you know? And you have to be consistent, There's
exactly. You can't just let them, like, my parents would ground me until Friday, and then they'd want to have their house to themselves, and they'd be like, "Oh, you go outside, you're not grounded anymore." It's like, okay, I'm not gonna take your shit seriously because I know I'm getting out on Friday,
right? Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, so who knows, like, what, even if she was coming from the best place, like, maybe there was some sort of flip-flopping or whatnot, It's hard to tell. And also, it's hard to be consistent, and it's hard to set those boundaries for your kids.
Yeah. And you want to let your kids do stuff, especially when they're being so good and they were just kicking ass at life.
Right.
So because they started to rebel, they just started treating Nikki like shit. They just were being real cold to her, to the point where the family noticed. It just started causing a bunch of problems.
Did they go on Jenny Jones?
Oh, I fucking
or
wish.
Ricky Lake?
I wish.
Because that was pretty much the best thing ever to watch.
That's exactly what I think I made a note on that. I was like, Maury, Ricky Lake, like, my kid's out of control.
I fucked a guy for a burger. And then the mom's crying on the stage,
The kids just slapping their mom. Shut up, Mom.
I used to love watching that shit.
Give me a cigarette.
Then they bring in the drill sergeant.
Yeah.
They really just needed a drill sergeant instead of a mom.
What was it? Scared Straight? That one was good too.
Yeah.
I just love seeing kids cry. I like seeing little shitty kids cry.
Yes,
Like
shitty kids. I like them turning around and being like, okay.
Kids that think they're tough, and then they just shit their pants when someone tougher than them comes along. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
So good. So a couple things started happening. There were a couple incidents that led up to this crime. One day, Tasmiyah was ditching school for a few days. Just didn't come to school. I guess she maybe came home and then bounced out, never, and then she just went to her older boyfriend's house. I think this kid was like 19. She was about 16.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, 40.
It's not good, but it could be worse.
Normal. I mean, not normal, but it's not out of the norm.
I mean, it's still probably not legal because I don't know the state laws.
Georgia, you don't know. Honestly, I feel like Georgia might be 17.
Age of consent is 10. No, yeah, I'm not sure what the laws are, but at least it's not a 40-year-old predator.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's a little bit more reasonable. It's within 3 years
Yeah,
difference.
and if you've got teen at the end of your age still, you're fine. If it was like 21, 20, there's some shit in your 20s.
Starts to get questionable.
Seriously.
Yeah. But still, like, in order to maintain that relationship, the kid has to do well in other areas. Mm-hmm. So if you're showing up to school and you're not ditching, mom is not going to trip.
Yeah.
Period.
I wish I would have known to just stay in class, and I could have done so much shit. Like, I could have really just had a way better time. Like, I did not need to go fuck around during school hours.
That's exactly how I got away with being a teenage junkie. Because I was just like, honors classes, good grades. I did my homework and then did all of the drugs.
Yeah.
All of them.
I maintained until 11th. Same shit until 11th grade. And then just, I don't know. I figured out you could ditch.
Right? Like, oh, this is over. I've come here for a while. It's done, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she needed us to guide her and be like, you just need to stay in school.
Yeah.
Get good grades. And then you can just go get all the 19-year-old dong you want.
Go get dick after band practice.
Right. Just play the flute and then play the skin flute and then you're good.
So basically, she was at her boyfriend's house. Nikki knew that. She was like, I have fucking 19-year-old dude. I know where my kid's going to be.
Right,
so she goes over. which this has happened to me too. This is so
No.
funny. Yeah. Nikki,
I'm already mortified. I don't even know what's going to happen.
so bad. So she just, as a mom did, she, took her out of the boyfriend's house, like get the fuck in the car.
Damn.
And I think this is where it is too. With women, it's different. I mean, I think we're more likely to argue with each other and have screaming matches. Maybe with guys too, because that was my only thing. But it seemed like they kind of took low blows at each other.
Okay, so there was a lot of verbal altercations between the mom and the twins.
Maybe that's just parents and kids. Not even, I think I'm putting it by gender, but I'm like thinking back in my head. I was like, no, my dad had some low blows too. So. So she took her phone and told her she couldn't date the dude anymore.
After dragging her out of his house? God, I just would crawl into a hole. I'd be so fucking embarrassed if that happened to me.
That's exactly what she said. She's like, how could you fucking do that in front of him? Like, oh, it's already that thing when you're 16 and you're like, I'm cool. I'm dating an older guy. No one can control me. And then you get controlled in front of them. And they're like, haha.
Yeah, the whole like name of the game is being independent because you're dating this older dude. And then when your mom comes over and shows your ass for you, then.
Come on, mom.
Yeah. Like, yeah, it's a real burn. Yeah, that's mortifying. And it seems like everything's the end of the world when you're 16.
It is.
Anything that happens is just the biggest thing that's happened in your life.
It really is. Like, nothing's going to get better.
So she, I'm sure, lost her mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she, on the way back, she decided to jump out of the car.
Oh, no.
She just fucking tucked and rolled. And Nikki, of course, she's a mom, and she just saw her kid jump out of the car, freaked out.
That's terrifying.
But it kind of showed her mom, like, no, I have control. You're not going to control me. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. I'm jumping out the car. You can't make me stay here. But.
Wow. Those child locks come in handy all the way up until 18.
I fucking hated child locks.
You still can't figure them out?
Nope. So after the car jumping incident, this is what really bothers me. The twins just got a lot worse. And instead of taking the twins to a doctor or a psychologist or a psychiatrist, get a psychiatric evaluation.
Jenny Jones.
She thought a fucking demon had possessed her children.
Whoa.
The power of Christ compels you.
That's not at all where I expected that story to go.
No?
I had no idea that was involved. Dang. Okay, so now at this point, I'm thinking back like, we don't know what was going on in that house. I was thinking, oh, she's just a normal mother.
Yeah.
But if she thinks that her twins are possessed by a demon, then I'm questioning all her parenting for the past 16 years.
I think she was just a very religious woman. Not to the point where it was like...
Like I said, I'm questioning. No, I just think, if you really believe that, I mean, that's what untreated mental illness would tell you. There's no such thing as a demon possessing your twins, period.
Well, we don't know that, so pump your brakes.
I mean, a demon called 19-year-old dick, or a demon called
marijuana,
drugs, or untreated mental illness, or something like that, could be changing their behavior. That's not a demon. Yeah. Just,
No, I totally get it. It's exactly.
Sorry to get too real right there.
But any of those could have been evaluated by a doctor.
Exactly.
She could have taken them.
They needed to talk to professionals, then the mother needed to get some advice from professionals about how to deal with her daughters. This is difficult, and there's two of them.
Just seek any fucking help on how to parent your children. Maybe, hey, my kids are acting like fucking assholes. What can I do?
Right. How can I help this situation? That's a normal parenting thing. You're going to run into problems. You have to seek outside help or advice from your peers or whoever to figure out how to deal with it in the best way possible.
Yeah, where are her fucking friends being like,
and all the family members that these twins were the apple of their eye years ago, and now all of a sudden...
I think they're a really religious household, but she did try getting an exorcism, but of course, which is crazy to me. I really want to do more research on that. On exorcism, they've never rarely happen. I want to know the cases where they do happen. Where they I want to see those. We gotta do.
So she tried to do an exorcism?
Well, she didn't, but she tried to get it approved and everything like that, but it didn't happen.
How do you apply for one and it gets approved?
Yeah,
what the fuck is that?
Go find what, bro? Haven't you seen The Exorcist? I'm pretty sure this is real shit. Where you got to be speaking in different languages and shit. There's tests that people have to do to get you approved by the Catholic Church to get an ordained exorcism. No.
I've never seen The Exorcist.
Get the fuck out of here.
This happens all the time. I've never seen a lot of things, especially scary movies that were older because I wasn't allowed to because my parents wouldn't let me.
My name is Kelly and I quit.
It's the last episode of Murder Dictionary.
No, it's okay though because you'll never sleep again. I wish I would never.
I already have enough insomnia. I don't need to watch more scary movies. I still do it, but I don't need to.
It's so...
So you got to apply for an exorcism.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and then you have to...
Who would have thunk it?
They actually do have tests and stuff. Like, they're not just like, okay, we're going to come out and sprinkle some water on you and shit. They have...
You have to, like, qualify?
Qualify.
Got
which
it.
I think one of them is
It's like adopting a pet.
Exactly.
It's the opposite. It's the opposite of adopting.
It's just patting your pet with a Bible until the evil comes out. Beating the shit out of your pet with a Bible. So I guess, yeah, I think like speaking in a different language. If anyone else knows anything about what you need for an exorcism.
Yeah, we are not the professionals.
Yeah.
On this.
Mm-mm.
This is not our area of doctor expertise.
No.
Dr. Feelgood and Dr. Green Thumb do not know about exorcisms.
No. We're not authorities on those subjects. But to jump over to one of our favorite podcasts, the last podcast on the left did the Enfield Project, where they were saying
so good.
How, remember that recording that I keep talking about is...
Kelly brings this up every time I see her for the past month.
It's the scariest...
Welcome to our friendship.
If anyone can check out the last podcast on the left's Enfield series.
Yeah, I highly recommend. It's so good. It's so good.
If you ever want to hear a girl be possessed, actually... Well, at least, or severely sick. But I think it's...
Yeah, I have no idea what was going on, but it sounds so real.
It sounds so real.
It makes me believe a little bit.
Me too. Honestly, I get chills every time, and I turn it up as loud as I can in my car. But this girl would do this voice. It's like an exorcist voice for hours, but they were saying in the making of the movie of The Exorcist that they had this lady, like they strapped her to a chair for hours, made her smoke a bunch of cigarettes, and then drink milk.
Yeah.
So...
But the twins were never doing any of this,
no,
right?
Yeah,
There's no evidence that we had.
No, they were just.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Dudes. I'm just like, wait, is Nikki right?
No, God, wouldn't that be the best ending to this story?
No.
Jesus exists. The end. Mic dropped.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think if you have that kind of evidence, sure. But I'm sure. I don't know. It just seems like Nikki's not the best authority on these things.
No.
She's just a bad parent that's overly religious and applying things where they don't fucking apply.
Yeah. Jesus says go see a psych.
Yeah, no.
So there was definitely a power struggle between the teen and the mom. They were always fighting, and the girls liked to gang up on their mom. It was two of them versus one of Nikki. They started showing like criminal like behavior where this is really fucking manipulating. I really don't like this. They would flip flop with their mom and between who is the good twin and who is the bad twin. Like, oh mom, I wouldn't do that. And and she'd be like, oh, she'd trust one, and then the other one would be fucked up. She just didn't know which kid she could trust. So it's really just a fucked up. Yeah, these kids are really smart.
They're psychologically terrorizing their own mother.
Exactly.
Whoa.
I just got you ever get butt chills? Like, it's not on the top of my thing, but like my leg just got the butt chills.
Butt chills.
So around this time, Taz started cutting.
Oh.
And
no.
I think it's funny too that I'm not funny, but it is. If you were going to guess which of the twins would have cut, it would have been the more quiet, reserved.
Yes, because it's all like facing the emotions inward.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, then I don't know why you cut. I'm just kidding.
Because I ate 2,000 calories of pumpkin spice cookies. I have a cookie fucking addiction.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
I feel like I never see you eat cookies.
Because it's like at midnight.
Oh, it's your dark shame?
When I eat 30 at a time. I ate a whole box of Chips Ahoy. I gave my roommate like 2.
Good job, dude.
So sad.
Achievement unlocked.
Oh, man, I wonder why I shit my pants.
Everything makes sense now.
So here's where shit gets a little kind of crazy.
A little?
A little.
This is it?
This is kind of it.
It didn't get crazy at the exorcism?
It's no Irish. Oh man, I can't. Weed. When did we go to Ireland? Tala? When did we go to Tala for the...
Was that the Mulhalls?
Mulhall, thank you. That is probably one of the most gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, this is fine, because that's my standard of gruesome
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
So the twins were cutting school, and they got in trouble. Nikki basically found out that they'd been just truant a bunch. So Nikki went to go confront them, and the twins started to argue, and they ended up jumping their mom.
Whoa.
Yep. So Nikki ran to barricade herself inside of her room and called a family member who told her, like, fucking call the cops, dude. If you feel like you're in danger, call the fucking cops.
Oh, my God.
When the cops got there, there's two different stories. So the girls said that their mom hated them and they just didn't want to live with their mom. And Nikki obviously was like, oh, the girls jumped me. The cop says that the twins were really, really calm, had a really chilled, like, demeanor, which is weird because when you get in a fight or any type, you're like,
that's creepy.
yeah, you usually
So
have...
it just settled their asses down. They're just like,
Exactly.
oh, okay, I got out my aggression.
Yeah.
Now I'm chill.
There's no,
That's exactly what
adrenaline.
I needed.
Yeah. Chill.
Nice, relaxing ass kick or
Yeah,
something.
fuck a bathtub. Fuck a bath. So the cops ended up just, like, mediating and somehow got the girls to chill out even more and, like, not. And just be like, hey, you want to stay here, it's okay. They left the twins with their mom and bounced. I also think it's kind of weird that it is kind of domestic violence, right? And if it was a man and a woman, they have to take one person away. I don't get why they don't take one person away. It still is a domestic call. But they are so quick to leave the kids with the parents.
Right.
Which has happened to me where my mom has hit me and I've come to, the cops have come, but then they still leave you with that parent. And you're just like, oh, shit, I shouldn't have said anything. Like, I shouldn't have.
It makes you not trust anyone.
Yeah. And I think
and not feel safe.
Doesn't give you that cool off time you need.
Yes.
To act a little bit more rational. One of the female cops that was called to the scene felt kind of weird about leaving the mom. Like, she was the one who kind of noticed that the kids were really calm. So she basically stayed in the neighborhood in case anything happened. Just didn't want to go too far. Nikki went upstairs to chill out and hang in her room. Taz comes in and locks the door behind her. Walks into the mom's room and locks her door. Taz starts beating up her mom.
Okay, I have butt chills now.
I know, right? I got knee chills. Taz starts beating up her mom. You can obviously hear a confrontation. She's just wailing on her. Jazz comes up and bangs on the door and is like, Mama, I'll help you. I'll help get Taz off of you. So Nikki runs to the door and opens up the door. Do you think she helped her?
No, of course not.
So instead of helping her mom, this fucking douchebag kid jumps on her mom's back and starts ganging up on her.
No.
So the twins basically continued to assault Nikki until somehow Nikki managed to escape. This is the second time she's escaped an ass beating from these two.
Fuck.
Which makes me feel really good about being 34. Like, I'm gonna be able to beat down some 16-year-old kids that jump on my fucking back. But yeah, she kicked, not kicked ass, but she got away, thank God. Luckily, that cop who was in the area saw Nikki run out of the house. Nikki ran out screaming, top of her lungs, freaking out. So
that's a bad sign when the cop is already preparing to come back to your house after a call.
Seriously. Why couldn't you
fucked up.
Obviously, you could have just taken the kids or done something. You knew it. You had that feeling.
Yes.
But
follow your intuition.
I'm glad she was there because she ran out of the house. Nikki ran out of the house, and the cop showed up really quickly before the girls could continue because the girls chased her outside the house. They weren't going to stop.
Wow.
The cop broke it up, and she saw that Nikki was clearly fucked up. She had scratches and bruises all over, but the girls gave the same story. But the cop decided to take the girls in, which is awesome. She said the twins were calm. They didn't show any remorse, which...
creepy as fuck.
And the cop said complete sociopath behavior.
Yes.
Which is the first time someone's actually brought up, like, a psychiatric problem with them. At least instead of, like, the devil and they're just wiling out kids. Like, actually probably are mentally unstable. She said they had no, like, worry of consequences, no regret, no remorse.
Damn.
Way to go, lady cop.
Wow.
So the family had to go see a judge, and Nikki explained that their out of control behavior, is affecting her. Seriously should have gone on Maury, but she said she didn't know how to control her daughter. She had tried everything.
Right.
And the twins basically just kicked up. These girls are really manipulative and they're really good at acting, and they played off, again, that whole duo dynamic of fire and water. They are just play off each other. So they said that their mom was a drug addict and said that she didn't love them. So
whoa.
they played the victims. They started crying in front of the judge, and I don't know what happened, how the judge believed them, or maybe the judge didn't believe, but that he knew that they shouldn't be together. But he deemed the twins ungovernable under Nikki's care.
Okay.
So the twins went to go live with their grandma.
Good.
Which is good. I think it was the great grandma. I'm sorry. But the one that was taking care of Nikki when her mom was in jail.
Okay, got it.
So I think it was their great grandma. They were ordered counseling, which is awesome.
Awesome.
I don't know why it wasn't required to have a psychiatric evaluation.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense at all.
They're still minors, and there's these behavioral issues that are violent, not just like theft or something. You know, they're violent crimes that they're doing.
But I guess that's so common with kids. I mean, you got to think about that. Like, what you just described a normal teenager, a little bit violent, like honestly, because that's a whole thing. Same with like, you can't do anything until something happens, which sucks. Like, you can't order.
Yes, but something did happen. I'm going to totally disagree with you. Yeah. Kids have these tendencies to be rebellious or to do shitty things. However, they aren't beating up their mom and ganging up on their mom.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
they aren't, because
percentage-wise, no.
No? Okay. All right.
Right? This is like the vast minority of kids, you know? I just don't think when those signs happen, you know there's something severely wrong, because it's not super common.
No.
It is common for kids to be rebellious, push boundaries, leave the house, do stupid shit, get in trouble.
Yeah.
But getting in trouble doing a violent crime is really different than shoplifting or wearing inappropriate clothes or smoking weed. Like, that's totally different than intentionally causing harm on your parent.
So you need require a psychiatric evaluation.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy that wasn't ordered.
So their great grandma was super old, obviously.
Really?
And the twins kind of took advantage of that.
Of course. I figured.
Yeah, they snuck out. They went wild. They saw all their dudes. They would hang out in the projects. They would just kick back, you know, have a good old time. Yeah,
I was like, I'm glad they're not with their mom. But when you said they went with the great grandma, I'm like, yeah, but that's no supervision.
None.
Because a great grandma's already kind of checked out. She's like, okay, kids, you want a sandwich? and that's it. That's the extent of parenting.
Totally. And she realized that the great grandma came to the realization that she couldn't do anything, and the same shit happened. They were sneaking out. She couldn't control them. But the one difference is that she was older, so she couldn't get jumped. She couldn't physically get involved with these kids, so without getting really hurt.
Yeah. So it wouldn't really escalate to that physical violence level.
Or she wouldn't let it, because, I mean, everyone kind of lived in fear of these kids.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
They would have family counseling about once a week, and Nikki would go. Nikki would always go. She was completely just willing to try and fix things and work on their relationship. She unconditionally loved these kids.
Yeah.
And I got calf chills. But she really did love her kids. So the girls basically clung on to each other. They didn't really seem like they needed any other family, they just needed each other. The counseling sessions were full of screaming just between their mom. Nothing really got done. It got so bad to the point that people were telling Nikki, you know, fuck it, throw in the towel, dude. Like, you've tried everything you've tried with these girls. They're some people you just can't help.
Damn.
But she didn't. So the twins had to go see a judge. They went back to a judge because of their truancy issues. So they lied to the judge and told them, like, we don't ditch class. Like, what are you talking about?
Like, how do you argue with that?
How are you? You've been absent 37 times.
Right? Like, it's on paper and all your teachers are saying that. That's not, like, debatable. It's a fact.
Like, it was jazz. They confuse us all the time.
Yeah, maybe they'd alternate, you know? And then just ask to go to the bathroom and go to a different class.
So good. The great grandma basically threw in the towel too. Once at that judge hearing, she threw in the towel and was like, I don't know how to fucking do it too. Because obviously they held her accountable for the truancy issues too. The same exact issues are happening. So Nikki thought it was a good idea to take her daughters back. You know, they had enough time apart, and she thought she was ready.
Oh, God.
And because the twins had said she was a drug addict, that they required her to take a drug test.
Okay.
She passed. Totally fine, which is crazy to me that they didn't order the kids a psychiatric evaluation. Even then, if you're going to order the mom for just allegations of being a drug addict.
Yeah. I feel like it's so hard for other unfit parents to actually be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
But then in this case, it seems like a rare one where you're like, oh, they are holding her accountable, but she's not doing anything.
Yeah, they're quick to give people back, or kids to parents that like are clearly on crack and,
and
will sell their baby for a Snickers or something weird.
Just terrible, terrible parents end up keeping their kids all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe this is happening to someone who's maybe not perfect, but a fit parent.
Yeah, but definitely a fit parent.
Yeah.
Since the test came back negative, they awarded her custody. While they were walking out, one of the twins told Nikki, "If I have to go back with you, I'll kill you." So I'm good. I would just throw the keys in, right? And they're already scared of this kid. I'm like, did anyone hear that around you? Like, fuck that, dude. If my kid said they'll kill me, done.
Yeah, bye.
Double child. I'm
leaving you on the side of the road. What age is the cutoff for leaving a kid at a fire station?
32. I just couldn't do that, and she still didn't give a fuck, dude. She was like, "No, those are my kids," you know.
Oh,
I love Nikki. Like,
parents' unconditional love is
something else.
Yeah, that's so sad.
Dude. No, I'm seriously
just one more reason why I don't want a kid.
No, dude, they'll kill you.
I don't want to love anything, even if it tells me I'm going to kill you.
Yeah,
like concretely, what? Just like eye contact, you're going to die. And I'm like, I love you.
Like, if I have to go back with you, I'll kill you. It's like, so do you want to ride home? Right. Or are you coming with me? Or you're going to think about it. You're going to walk home. Okay. All right. Okay. I'll pick up KFC. So Nikki was super excited that the twins were coming back. She fixed up all their rooms, made the house really nice for them, and
that's
even
cute.
I know, she's so cool, and she threw them a party, like a welcome home from grandma's house party. During the party, the twins got into a fight with their aunt and basically just killed the party. Everyone wasn't feeling it, and the cops were called. Like any good party.
Shut up.
The cops were called at the end.
Again?
Yeah. Not a damn thing.
Who pissed in the punch bowl?
So here's the crime.
Okay. I'm not ready.
June 10th, 2008.
Oh, that's a bad day for crime.
Agreed. It's a hot day in Georgia.
I don't like that day one bit.
Bleh. So Nikki goes to sleep on the couch because she was scared of the kids. She didn't want to get jumped, and she didn't want the girls sneaking out. So to ensure that they didn't sneak out the front door, she would sleep on the couch.
My dad did that. It never worked.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got in and out the front door so fucking much. So much. It was bad. And then if he caught me coming back in or whatever, I'd just be like, oh, I just couldn't sleep. I just went for a walk. Who fucking believes that? What 15-year-old goes out for a midnight stroll?
I just check in the mailbox. It's 2 a.m.
Right?
I told you.
Smelling like drugs and Stranger Dick.
Oh my God, have you seen Stranger Dick Part 2? Season 2? So good. Yeah, I would sneak out the front door, but then I would sneak back in my window because by the time it was like 6 a.m, my parents would be getting ready for.
Oh yeah, I wish I could have snuck out my window. It just wasn't possible.
I couldn't sneak out because I couldn't jump in, but I could definitely hurdle myself through the window.
Little baby Kelly, like.
I know, dude. A neighbor caught me one time, and he's like, "Hey, what's up? You got stuck in the window?" I did. I was like, "Thanks for helping me." And then another time,
give me a boost, man. How rude!
So fucking rude. One time, because of my hips and my tummy, I snuck in one time, and obviously my parents heard me. And if my stepmom finds me, it's cool. At least she's a little bit not nicer, but she's better. She's not as scary as my dad. I jumped through the window. My dad came in. I was stuck halfway through the window. And my dad turns on the light and he's like, go through the fucking front door. I was just, Aw. And I just sat there. You know when you just like let go and you just
You're just stuck there like Winnie the Pooh.
It was a fucking Winnie the Pooh moment. I knew I was in trouble. I was like, God damn it. But so basically she wanted to keep them from she's really
the
again
tactic
trying.
is good. Like,
Yeah.
of course, you're going to stay close to the door, try
Yeah.
and catch them, whatever.
Be a good mom. She never stops being a good mom. Especially and just start beating her children. I'm seriously surprised.
There's only two choices. Be a good mom or beat your children.
Yeah.
There's no gray area
no
there.
in between. So, again, they missed the bus to school that morning. And Nikki got really upset because they were lagging it and they all got into a fight. So every time it's over truancy shit or them being late and not going to school.
Like I said, just do good in school. You can get away with anything.
Seriously, just show up and be present and no one will know anything.
Right?
So one of the twins picked up a knife and slashed her mom.
Oh.
Jazz ran out to talk to her and calm her down, but the girls just jumped over her and started slashing her arms and her entire torso. So it's like a crime of passion where they just continued.
We're in a frenzy,
Exactly. It was the arms, the neck, the torso. She ended up having about 50 stab wounds. So they really sliced her up, dude, and it's really sad. So creepier part, they just cleaned up the mess as best as they could, and they still made it to third period.
What?
Mm-hmm. They went straight to school.
Oh, now you want to go to school?
Yeah, you fuck all of a sudden.
When it's alibi time,
like how
you want to be learning shit.
Exactly. How pissed would you be? It's like all I wanted you to do is go to school. Just go to fucking school. And
I like that. How pissed you'd be if your kids killed you. Yeah, I would be pretty pissed, Gal. I would be pretty pissed.
Go to school, Brianna.
No, it's awful that they're just like, yeah, we're going to get our shit together now.
Yeah, I guess it's good. I guess mom was right.
Yeah, but it also shows the manipulation of just they know they need an alibi.
Yep. That's exactly what it was.
Yep. That's really sociopathic, you know?
So they went to school and they acted completely normal. People said nothing seemed out of whack. Like, I think one person said that they saw one of the twins comforting, but that could be like, who the fuck is going to remember that? If nothing seemed out of whack except for one person was consoling the other, then you had a pretty normal day for stabbing your mom.
For a 16-year-old, like, yeah, of course. You cry all the time when you're 16.
Exactly.
It's like a full-time job to just cry.
It is. No.
Is it just me? No.
No, yeah. 16 was just all tears. Just fucking tears.
Yeah. I was a real depressive kid.
He was a real fat kid.
That's what I meant. They went hand in hand for me. I can't speak for anyone else.
Oh no, for me too. Speak for me.
But you're such a swan. Look at you.
Swan.
I knew you were gonna do that.
Mean.
Like I said.
Swan. They have really fucked up teeth too. Have you seen swan teeth?
No.
They don't have fucked up teeth. They just have
Google.
little teeth. And I think bird teeth freak me the fuck out.
I just don't think of birds as having teeth at all, even, really. You're honestly blowing my mind. I feel really dumb because I know I'm smarter than that. How do I not know that?
Watch someone send a link and they're like, birds don't have teeth, you fucking idiot. Ducks don't have teeth, right?
I'm just thinking of Always Sunny where he like glues teeth into the bird, right? Yes. Along with Hans Verm hat and stuff. Oh my God. Yeah. Denim chicken and then bird teeth.
Bird teeth.
Yeah.
How else? I mean, you can't just slobber down some fucking fish and... Oh, yeah, fish is slippery. Yeah. Insects?
I mean...
Mice?
When there's a will, there's a way.
True.
You've eaten 2,000 calories worth of cookies, so I'm just saying.
I know what I'm doing tonight. So, the girls get home from school and they see a cop coming down the street. So they ran outside because they still had their mom in the fucking house. You know? They ran outside and they were like, "Oh my God, our mom just got killed." The cops come into the house and they said that the stench of the bathroom was unbelievably strong. It smelled like blood, which kind of like the Mulhall sisters. I feel like everything in a bathroom it just ends up smelling worse.
Yes.
Just disgusting. But Nikki was found dead in the bathtub.
No.
It's kind of crazy too because immediately all the family members knew that the twins had killed Nikki.
Yeah.
I think she had even said, if something happens to me, the twins did it.
That's so sad that she lived with that feeling.
And
she knew that, you know, like
a complete fear. Yeah, living in fear.
Damn.
And she still had the love to still.
She was trying.
Yeah, fuck.
God damn.
So while the twins were in custody, they claimed that they had checked on their mom before leaving for school, and they said that her door was locked. When they came home, they supposedly found their mom dead in the bathtub.
Huh.
They had claimed that a boyfriend of hers had did it, that she had gotten into a fight with her boyfriend, and basically that they should inspect or just investigate the boyfriend.
Don't point anyone in the direction of police records because you're the only people on police records.
Yeah.
Like, how do these twins think that that's not going to come up?
Boyfriend.
it's always the boyfriend.
Excuse me.
This is like the only case in the history of ever where the boyfriend didn't do it.
Didn't do it. I know. But the cops were noticed instantly that they had defensive wounds on their hands, that they had knives and everything like that, cut wounds and stuff,
and a record of violence against their mom.
Exactly. Who else?
All signs point to you.
Fucking idiots, dude. Yeah, their story didn't make sense. I really like the video of them, their like interrogation thing, because they knew. You know how a lot of people on like the first 48 just don't know that they're being recorded,
right? Yes.
Man, we gotta stick together. And these girls knew. They didn't break once. They didn't do anything. They actually performed more when the cop wasn't in there. And I was semi-baked listening to. It was so funny. I don't know why I thought it was so funny, but she was like, "Mommy."
No.
You know when people, I want mommy. You know when people get super high.
And if it's real, it gives you chills.
Yeah.
If it's fake, it's just like
barf cauldron.
Yes. Yeah, you can tell right away.
They were both crying. I can't.
Of course, they got caught.
Fuck, man. Like, I don't know. Fake crying is very hard.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I don't know.
But I think the emotions are so high at that point. They're already afraid of so much. There's so much going on that they probably are real tears for a different reason.
Yeah,
they're crying for themselves, you know?
I put in my note, it was such a bad, almost porn-sounding cry / or a dog.
It's either a puppy or a porn star.
Porn puppy. Oh, man. That's exactly. It was just really just awful. They eventually, because they really didn't have any evidence to convict them.
Right.
They were released to their grandmother, and they were able to go to their mother's funeral.
Oh, God, no.
They brought their boyfriends that they were dating.
Shut up. What?
Mm-hmm. And while at the funeral, they started giggling and joking around. And their uncle flipped the fuck out.
Yes, I'm flipping the fuck out. What the fuck?
Yeah, he flipped the fuck out.
How are they not in jail? That's fucking ridiculous.
Who brings a +1 to a funeral?
Well, yeah, there's that too.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, how the fuck did they not put them in custody after that?
Yeah, or just at least not let them go. I mean, I guess you have to because you're not convicted, and that would be kind of fucked up if they didn't do it and you didn't let them go.
Yeah, but usually they'll charge you and you'll have some sort of bail, and then your family's not going to bail you out when you killed a family member.
They didn't have anything to charge them. Hold them.
That's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
everything was right
hand.
there, though.
Yeah. So, the
Sorry.
uncle, no,
I'm
you make
freaking
sense.
out.
I fucking flipped out already. Try doing it on weed. You're like, no way. How could they do that, man? They just showed up, man. That's cold.
Have you seen a murderer out on the streets on weed?
You ever suck dick for coke? You ever suck dick for weed? While the girls basically should have, I mean, I guess we can't judge people grieving, but they still went to prom. They were partying.
You can kind of judge people grieving.
A little bit.
You know what I mean?
Go...
We've all grieved. Everybody's lost someone.
Yeah, but I partied too, so I can't judge.
Yeah, you can tell the difference between sadness partying and partying.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
like
true.
You for real can.
You're right.
Because then they get belligerent real late at night and they're just like, you know? They get all angry.
Is that the grieving one? That's the grieving one, right? That's grieving because I just
because it all comes out. Like
Yeah,
at first
once
you're
you
happy, then because you've gone through such a dark thing,
Yeah.
once you get that fucked up,
Yeah.
the floodgates are open.
Yeah, the minute you're alone and you're not around your friends, like, God, that's my type of grieving.
Yeah.
Woo.
So I don't know, man.
No, yeah, especially, I don't know, bringing your dudes to a funeral too when your mom clearly didn't like them. It's just disrespectful.
Yeah, I would not go to prom if I just had my mom murdered. Like, that's not.
I didn't go to prom anyways.
I barely went.
Fuck prom. So further police work found video recording of the twins going to a gas station after the murder, which poked a hole in their timeline since they said they had walked to school after missing the bus early in the morning.
Okay, got it.
So they clearly lied to the police, and now the twins became the primary suspects.
They always were, cops. They always were. Get in the game.
At least they have video, because, I mean, you'd think if they had enough evidence to convict them, they would, or at least just hold them.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so crazy to me that they didn't already have enough evidence to at least hold them. Like,
I wonder if the gas station was closed. How do they know to go to that gas station?
Yeah, I don't know.
We need all the videos around, but
yeah, or maybe someone saw them on the news or was like, "Oh, I know those girls." It's odd to see twins.
Yeah,
it's one thing to be like, "Hey, some random white guy," and it's like, "Oh, I see a bunch of those all the time."
Twins is
see two twins.
Memorable.
Yeah.
So the twins were taken into custody and charged with murder.
Good.
They were complete dicks to the cops and told them, you know, go back and find the real killer. It's not us, and just really super defensive and just bratty about it. Which makes it even funnier when you watch the video. She's like, Mommy!
God.
Idiots. So they took a plea deal, and they were given 30 years in prison for voluntary manslaughter.
Nice. That's good.
It is good, but fuck these kids. Moral of the story, fuck these kids. Their mom's like the only one who had their back.
Yes.
I don't know, just through thick and thin, and they gave her the worst death possible. I just think that getting stabbed, let alone 50 times, like in your neck, in your head, they stabbed her in the head, dude. Like,
yeah. No, it's so awful to just have that kind of ending and at the hands of your own children.
Yeah, and all your talents, your intelligence, your everything is because of her. Really, not. I mean, she gave you the tools.
Went so far to try and give you the best opportunity.
You just shat all over her for some D. Fucking douchebag kids.
They are truly, truly awful.
But thank goodness that the twins are in separate prisons in Georgia, and they can only write each other letters. They can't correspond through like phone or anything like that. They can't.
I thought usually you couldn't even write letters.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a no contact thing. That's interesting.
Fuck them.
Maybe I misunderstand, but yeah, I thought that it was a thing where you can't really contact anyone else who's in prison.
Let's
if you're
petition
in the
to
system.
make sure they can't.
Yeah, fuck these broads.
Yeah. So they're gonna be 48 when they get out and just starting life, when they could have been done with college and having had a great career and stuff like that. But I guess they started to flip a little bit in jail. They started to be a little bit more remorseful. I don't know if that's because they want to get out early or because I don't think you cure sociopathy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. And we don't really know like a official diagnosis for them. It's just kind of what their behavior is telling us, you know?
Totally.
So yeah, I don't know if it's possible for them to, you know, have just kind of lost their way in their teenage years and really done something extreme. Yeah. Or if this is really something that's more permanent, you know, that may be a little harder to recover from.
Exactly. Is it just a teenage mistake, or is it actually part of their character and part of their biology?
Like the most extreme mistake that you could make in your teen years during a time where it's like so critical and intense, but I don't know if that's something you can grow out of once you've done something so violent. Yeah. That might be just part of your nature.
It's crazy to me that like Nikki's biggest fear was like that the kids were going to get pregnant at 17 like she did, when in reality there's bigger things to be scared about, you know?
Yeah, she concentrated so hard on that it's like they told you they were going to kill you and you just kept on trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What, you're going to film me? Right. Film me with love? I'm gonna fill you back, daughter. Ew. What did I just say? But yeah, they're little shitty
terrible.
kids that are really smart. I'm really sad.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
It's just sad. I don't
It
know.
is. It's just, yeah.
And I was a douchebag kid like that too, except I didn't have all those opportunities. But I was definitely
a lot of people were douchebag kids. You know,
everyone's a rebelling teenager at some point. It's just what degree do you take it to?
Yeah.
Everyone ditches class. Everyone does some drugs, and everyone has some sex.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's hit and miss. I think there's a lot of good kids out there too. You know,
No, I think
we
you're
just
wrong.
happen to be kind of rebellious kids.
No, I think they just
so it seems like everybody's like that, but I think it's a mix of everything, going all the way up to being this extreme, also to being the opposite extreme.
Yeah, my little sister's the exact opposite.
Yes,
completely sweetheart, doesn't do anything wrong. But
that's a great example. Yeah, but it's just I don't know. That's so much. Those girls went so far. Yeah. And I don't know, we discussed in a previous episode, I feel like I always come back to Brescia Meadows. I feel like that's the one case that I bring up a lot. But we had talked about how, you know, the psychologist had recommended that she not be in the system and for a myriad reasons why a developing child needs to not be held in the prison system, you know, and she was a convicted murderer or whatnot, but it was a self-defense abusive situation. Yeah. And I think these girls were probably counting on getting some sympathy. Totally. Because people would think that they were in that sort of situation.
Abusive. Yeah.
But all the evidence suggested that they were the abusers, that they were the aggressors, that they were the unstable ones, you know? But they were probably banking on that because really most of the time, kids need to be in a less harsh facility or not be incarcerated in order to recover from certain crimes, you know, to get an opportunity to actually realistically change their life, you know? But these girls, I don't feel they really deserve that, you know?
They just needed an exorcism. We're going
to
exercise all the kids. That's it. Fuck getting grounded. Just have a big thing of holy water. I'm just going to have a squirt bottle, like, you know when you squirt cats with water to get them to stop doing stuff with holy water.
I think we should just take kids on field trips, but take them to like Raging Waters or any of those water parks and put holy water in there. Yes. Take care of it all at once.
I think we just take them to the Museum of Tolerance and sad shit so we can show them what life's really about.
Yeah, because they don't even know. These kids don't even know. No fucking clue. And then they just sleep through history class, so they're not listening. They need to see some shit.
Oh, fuck, I slept through history class.
But you know some shit now. You've watched like 2 documentaries, right?
I've watched Ancient Aliens. No, I love history. I love World War II. Good times.
Good times.
That's my favorite history.
Thanks for the story tonight.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good one.
Was it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I had heard of that case, but not really known much about it. You know, I just knew this was something that happened. You know, you see a summary, kind of a blurb, like, this woman died and it was her kids, you know, but that was really interesting.
I think as twins, it's kind of not enabling, but like, you have a ride or die with you at all times. Right. Like, if you are feeling weird about doing something, you got someone that's just like, you know, when you're like, hey.
You have a forever road dog.
You have someone that is exactly you. Like, yeah, we should do that. And you're like, thanks, second me. We should do that.
It's like having 2 devils on your shoulder, but you guys are both the devils.
It's both devils.
The world is your shoulder.
Exactly. So that was the Whitehead twins. I was just thinking, because their names are so cool, Jazz and Taz. I was going to say the Jazz and Taz. The Jazz and Taz twins. I like them.
When you just talked for an hour about a case and can't remember their name 30 seconds later. Thanks, drugs.
No, my nose is just really stuffed.
I know. I'm sorry. We're like both kind of under the weather. I'm always sniffly, and you're currently sniffly. So we apologize for the sniffles and the coughs today.
It's a struggle. It never gets easier.
Constant pain. Yeah. But now we're laughers instead of cutters.
Yes. Woo! And then we just laugh about cutting.
So thank you for telling me a
That was
story.
awesome. Yeah, I love telling you stories.
Yeah.
Yay.
So I think we're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
So if you haven't followed us on social media, make sure you go check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There's links in the show notes for a whole bunch of stuff. There's resources for victims. There's links to getting merch. There's links to our Patreon, which has bonus episodes and merch. And it's too late for timestamps, but if you ever want to skip some gruesome stuff, we have that in there as well.
It wasn't that gruesome.
No.
It really wasn't.
No, but it was the one part that was pretty awful.
I just think the scariest thing was when she locked the fucking door and then she convinced, like, that shit scares me more. If she convinces you to open the door to help you and then she fucking jumps you, that's more scary. It's not
the psychological stuff is so scary to
me.
Yeah.
Bothers me.
So if you want to skip that shit,
butt chills.
We will put the timestamps for the butt chills moments in the show notes for all the episodes. So if you need that, check that out. Don't forget to go to Threadless for merch and Patreon for more merch and bonus episodes. And we have a couple new Patreon supporters, but my phone's across the room.
Jeffrey, Heather, Leah, Sarah. Jeffrey, Heather, Leah, Sarah.
Dude, you nailed it every time.
All I do is win, win, win.
Good job coming back from the previous weed moment.
Yeah. I'll forget it in 30 seconds. But thanks, guys. Thanks for keeping the kids off the streets.
Hashtag us. We're the kids. So thank you so much again for your support.
I'm going to go see that Dahmer movie tomorrow, I hope. Did you see
awesome. I already saw it.
Is it
Yeah.
good? Oh, you said it was good. That's why I wanted to go see it.
It's good. It's a slow indie movie with a lot of dark humor, but I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love dark humor.
Yeah. I like slow indie movies too.
No,
Just like it's kind of quiet and everybody's making a face.
I fucking hate that.
So yeah, that's the other thing. Go see the My Friend Dahmer movie.
Woo! And let us know
yeah.
how it was.
Let Kelly know how it was.
Yeah. Let me know. Oh, yeah.
And then I think that's it.
You ready to unzip me and true crime and chill?
Butt chills and chill. Zip it up. All right. Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
The face that went along with that was wow.
I'm sick.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.